So I was about 3/4 of the way up this rock face, and my back was up on the part where it was just up against basically a cliff, right? There was nothing there, and I was facing into the rock. Now, coming back to me, it was kind of like this, and I tried to reach around where I thought there was a handhold, and I felt just flat rock. So I had nothing, and I started to slip a little bit, and I kind of caught myself and froze, and in that moment, felt and heard myself kind of go, this slow, long, kind of deep exhalation. And as I did that, I felt myself center and calm and almost override that like fight or flight near death reaction as I was teetering with my back ready to fall back off this wall. And I kind of reached my head around a little bit more, there felt again, and felt the handhold that I knew was there from before but couldn't quite find. And I just felt myself kind of go, okay. And I knew I was okay. And so I share this because, well, first of all, I'm not like a professional rock climber, and that's not what this channel is about. And the fact that I was in that position, one could argue, as my friend who was with me did, that it was kind of stupid to be in that position. But in either case, the reason I share this because learning to control your breathing, especially in moments of like stress or anxiety, is an incredibly powerful tool for not only your day-to-day happiness, but also your day-to-day effectiveness and resourcefulness. So again, what happened in that moment right there, maybe you can honestly even try this yourself as you watch this video, is just actually for a second kind of like try that. Like just kind of a longer, slowed down, and more pronounced exhalation. And if you try this, what you notice is you'll probably feel just a little bit calmer and a little bit more centered. When we look at how the brain and body interact and work in the nervous system, what we find is that longer, and I'm maybe a note of this, longer, slower, more controlled or pronounced exhalations produce a down regulating effect in the nervous system, whereas longer, more rapid, more pronounced inhalation produces an upregulating effect. So it's almost like the motor of your car and like the gas pedal, which you can control, right, to control the kind of speed of the nervous system. So I mean, think about it like this: what happens when you come home from work or whatever, or a workout? You sit down, maybe crack open a bottle of water because we're healthy here, and put your feet up on the couch. What do? You're like, even your dog does this if you study him or her, right? They circle around and they try to find a spot to lay down, and then what they're gonna, and they plop down. Conversely, if someone's like really nervous or really freaking out, what do they might be like, so that cyclic hyperventilation is a more pronounced inhalation, whereas that exhalation being more pronounced is calming. And so the thing is that by bypassing or controlling this way of breathing ourselves, we can influence the state that our nervous system is in to be either a little bit more alert and agitated if that's what you want. If you want maybe a little bit more high energy or something, you can kind of emphasize the inhales of but probably more often, if we have a moment of like stress or anxiety or even just starting out our workday, to breathe out in that way. So a final protocol I want to share with you with this, right? This is just a little bit of a tool to keep in your tool belt as you go through your day if you want to control your state, because it's very hard to control the mind with the mind. Maybe make a note of that, right? You've probably had that experience where you're like trying to not think about something, or you're trying to think more positive, or not worry about something, or quit remembering that thing that pissed you off. And what happens? It's pretty hard to not do it, right? It's kind of like if I say, don't picture a pink parrot, what's the first thing you think of? A pink parrot. So instead of trying to control the mind with the mind, we can control the mind with the body, our physiology, and simply our breathing. Just that. But here is a slightly more detailed protocol if you wish to try it, because as you know on this channel, I like to share science-based tools as well that can measurably improve your happiness and mood and make you feel better. So this was actually published in a journal, Cell Press. It was a randomized clinical control trial at Stanford University. They had people practice different ways of kind of like meditating or breath work in the morning. And they had people do kind of your standard meditation, which is just like trying to pay attention to your breathing and pay attention to the present moment and just watch it. They did a few other styles of breathing, but one of the ones they had people do was called cyclic cyclical sighs, excuse me, or physiological sighs, which means that you kind of take a breath in and you actually do a double inhale, which I'll show you, and then you slowly sigh it out. And they had people do this, I think it was 5 to 10 minutes, so a few minutes each day for a period of weeks. And they found that it led to statistically significant improvements in their overall mood throughout the day and reductions in stress and anxiety. So here's how you can breathe like this. It's similar to the, just the controlled extended exhalation that I showed you at the beginning. But in this way, you add in a double inhale. So it's like this. You breathe through your nose. And then when your lungs are pretty full, you take a second sharp inhale through the nose. That helps inflate these sacs in your lungs. And then you slowly sigh it out. You want to aim for roughly a 2-to-1 ratio. So let's say you breathe in for 3 or 4 seconds, and then you take that second in. You're going to try to breathe out then 6 to 8, maybe even 10 seconds. Okay, so I'll show you one more time, and maybe you can try it as we go along. But breathing in, second one, and then sigh it out. So I hope you'll try this, and just remember again that it's hard to control the mind with the mind. You're much better off learning to control your physiology, controlling your breathing, and by controlling your breath, you can regulate your nervous system. So when you're in these moments of stress, usually not life or death, right? But stress or anxiety, you'll be in a better place to react to that. So here's a video that YouTube suggests you'll like. As always on this channel, you can follow me for more from the art and science of happiness. So I'll see you next time.